Here's a history of Christianity many people don't know. The Christianity most people practice today did not start until over 300 years after the death of Jesus. To understand this, we must look at the first Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, which is in northwest Turkey. Over 1,800 bishops attended this meeting. Of those 1,800 bishops, no representation from people of Africa or Asia were present, except for a member from Persia. Now, Constantine the Great, Emperor of Rome from 306 to 337 AD, convened this meeting to bring all Christian religions under his rule. However, out of the 1,800 bishops, only 300 supported his view of uniting the two gods of that day, the Druidic god Jesus of the west and Krishna of the east. Constantine grew angry and called in his troops to remove the 1,500 bishops who didn't support his version of Christianity. He used the votes of the 300 bishops to approve his plan. This is what I call the politics of religion. It's from this meeting that we get what is called the Apostles' Creed. Before this conference, there were many different interpretations of the life of Jesus. And to maintain political power and control, all of the doctrines that differ were burned and thrown out as being heathen. More importantly, much of the African contributions were removed or substituted by European culture. This is why I agree with musical legend Stevie Wonder when he said, "When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you'll suffer. Superstition ain't the way." Here's a history of Christianity many people don't know.
Hello guys, this geezer is a liar. He's a notorious liar. He doesn't know any history about Christianity. And I'm going to expose him in this video, He said, Constantine, this is a normal, weak argument from weak mind. This is what they do. They try to say that the Christianity we have today is the Christianity of Constantine. He even lied about in a council of 306 or something like that, where the Council of Nicaea, he said that that's when we got this doctrine. But I'm going to expose this liar today, this geezer, and he said that the Africans are not involved. But when you look at Christianity, I think he's thought that he's talking to someone that doesn't know anything about Christianity. He have the history together, and you see, he didn't give any reference. He was just talking out of emotions, out of what he believed. That's what's happened in 300 and something. That he wasn't around. He didn't give evidence on all his claims. When somebody make a claim, and you have to challenge him on the claim. What evidence do you have to say all this stuff he said? But let's begin by saying that Christianity, as we know it, was founded by Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ was a Jew. He was born in Bethlehem, currently Palestine today. But, all his apostles was Jews, 12. There was no, no non-African among them. Africa as we know today, there's none. We know them. And this guy, I think he had a problem with the West. I understand, maybe because of, racism or something like that. He just have kind of, he said that Constantine convened the bishops. And those bishops, none of them came from Africa. And he doesn't know that Africa, he doesn't know the history of African Christianity. Africa have been, they are in the forefront of Christianity in terms of we have bishops that from Africa, even Ethiopians, they have Christianity a long time ago. It's not, they didn't just, their Christianity was not like the other Africans, like West Africa or East Africa, that Christianity came, people went and preached there recently. Not recently, but like maybe 200 years ago. But Ethiopia have Christianity for more than 500 years, or even 1,000 years, or even 1,500 years. Because you can see all these Coptic Christians in Ethiopia. They are ancient. But this liar, he said, they didn't invite Africa, they didn't invite the West, and he turned around and said that all the stuff Africa, they dismissed the Africans' contribution. But you said that they didn't invite Africa. How come they smooth their contribution if they didn't invite any bishop from Africa? And now you turn around and say they disregard all their contribution. But you said in the first place that they didn't invite the Africans. You see how we can catch liars easily. You know what I mean? Because this guy, he don't even know how the doctrine of Christianity are made. The doctrine of Christianity, like the Trinity or the nature of Christ, they don't just say when it's promulgated. It's not when it started. People have known about it. They pray about it. You know, all the Christians, they know about this stuff, but because once there's controversy, the church comes in and they put a break on it. You know, clarify doctrines. That's what the doctrines does. It's not like people doesn't believe that Jesus was God before they proclaimed that Jesus was God. In Nicene Creed, people have been praying to Jesus, but because there was people, there were heretics like this man going around, and that's why the church have to come together and make it official. This is how the church stands. The same thing as the Bible we have today, where Jesus didn't write anything down, but everything he said to the apostles was oral, and he said to them, "Go and teach." He didn't give them book. All the stuff they teach was oral. But there's a point they have to write it down, because if they don't write it down, people might twist their words, change it. And the Spirit, walk with them, and they wrote it down. They wrote the Gospels and the epistles down and hand it over to the churches. You know what I mean? That's why we have it today. But this man is trying to say that the Christianity we have today, the bad guys, they distinguish the good guys, the good Christians, before 300 and something years of Jesus, they have that's when they have Christians. The Christians we have today was just not Christians, that it was Constantine. And this guy don't even know the history of Christianity, because when Jesus said to go to the whole world and preach the good news, people took Christianity to many different of the world, to India, to Africa, to the West, and to the East as well. They took the Christianity everywhere. So there's no way that if we have these Christians that they said they burn their stuff down, they would have succeeded, because it's not like these people, we would have found them somewhere else. But we haven't seen the only Christians we have that can trace their history back to this Nicene time is only the Orthodox, the Catholics, and the Coptics. When I said Orthodox, I'm talking about the Eastern Orthodox and the Orientals. And the same when I talk about Catholics, I'm talking about up to 23 rites in Catholic. So, this guy is just have a problem with the Christian church. Now, that's what we see. Maybe he belonged to these heretics. Maybe he might be one of the Jehovah's Witnesses, or those people, or those, those that call themselves Christians, but they are not. They are caught. That they will tell you that Christianity started by Constantine. But they don't know that history is against them, because we have church fathers. We have Polycarp, we have Saint Irenaeus, we have Saint Jerome's. These people I'm talking about, these church fathers, I'm talking about Tertullian. Although he's not church father, but these people have been there before 300 and something. I think Jerome was around 100 and something, and his writings is still here with us. The same thing Irenaeus is on Saint Irenaeus. Their writings are here. So this guy is talking to black people that will hear the stuff like that, because he want to make it rational as well. When he said that they didn't invite the Africans, and they will jump on it and say, "Oh, this guy is saying the truth." There's no truth. He's not saying it because he didn't give any reference. He's just giving you dates and bringing somebody that doesn't even. How do you know that this picture you are bringing is Constantine? because for you to prove that it's Constantine, you have to appeal to this the European history you're against, because this picture you have there as Constantine, there's no way for you to prove it that he is him. You have to go and appeal to the same Western history to prove that Constantine even exists, because you can't prove it on your own. How can you? If I ask you, how do you know that Constantine exists? You wouldn't prove it. You don't know how to prove it. You have to go to the history of the same West that that bring you Christianity. Because you want to dismiss. You want to dismiss the current Christianity, which means Jesus came and preached the gospel, and just under 300 years that gospel died off, and now we have a fake gospel. That's what you want to tell us. And why should we listen to you? And not that we don't supposed to listen to you, but because you're a liar as well. You don't have truth in you. You're just one of the, I believe, maybe he's not a Christian. I know he's not a Christian, and maybe either he belongs to other religion or he's a Jehovah's Witness. That's what he is. There's no truth in what he said. It's just people can buy what you are saying that doesn't know anything about history. They can't even read, because everybody can even search online and see that all the stuff he's saying was false. But he's trying to pretend that he's have the truth. He's the only one that have the truth, because he can't even use the name Christian. How do you know that we have the name Christian? Because Jesus didn't mention Christian. He didn't mention the name Christian. He didn't preach anything about Christian. He's just preaching his followers. But this guy is trying to deceive many, and we're gonna keep debunking them, these lies, because there's no truth in anything he said. The Council of Nicaea is not it didn't exclude any bishop that's supposed to be there represent. He doesn't even know how the council works. The councils, bishops are represented in councils, and when bishop comes in the councils, there will be, the council is not there. A bishop comes with a different opinion. There's opposing side, and there is the other side as well. It's not like that's why there's council, because there's already trouble. People are preaching different things, but they call the council to make sure that everyone are on the same page. That's why the councils, they argue, in the council they debate, and they come to final conclusion with the help of the Holy Spirit, and they come to a final, they arrive at final judgment, and that's it. Even the bishop, even if you don't agree, you have to fall in line. But that's how the church works, because the Bible said that we must agree in everything. That's what Paul said, that Christians must agree in everything. So once the church or the council declare a creed or something, you have to fall in line. If you disagree, you are not the member of the church anymore. You have already count yourself out. So if this guy is saying that 150 bishops were opposed, that's normal stuff. Some bishops will have the opposing idea, but once they have this council, they vote, and that's it. The other bishops will fall in line. So it's not a problem. Thank you for watching. Peace.